The world has changed. I feel it on my phone. I feel it on my streaming services. I smell it on the internet. Much that was once sick and tight is lost, for none now post who remember. It began with the forging of the great microphones. One was given to Robbie, lord of the big dudes, appreciator of trash and sleaze. One to Hunter, great Tubi user and miner of discount DVD bins. And one was given to Source, who above all else wanted to hog the airtime while drunk. Their goal was simple, a podcast retrospective about the films from the turn of the millennium to the end of its first decade. Hang out with us as we discuss the spoofs, bangers, crimes, and chaos of an era we're still trying to understand. Oh, and maybe also some shit about 9/11. I'm not really sure. It's kind of fucked up. Today's film, the 2001 classic, The Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring.
Now when you buy a Whopper value meal at Burger King, get a Lord of the Rings light-up glass goblet, just $1.99 each. Collect all four.
Lord of the Rings comes to Burger King with 19 magical toys, one in every big kids meal.
Frodo, look out! A cave troll!
It's about bravery.
Legolas, fire away! Got him!
It's about evil spirits.
Look out! A ring ring!
Ready to join the fight?
Ah!
Lord of the Rings.
A Fellowship of Nine must destroy it. The Lord of the Rings, directed by Peter Jackson. Rated PG-13. Starts December 9th.
This is why DVDs were invented.
The 2-disc DVD contains hours of special features. Now on DVD and VHS.
Yo, this is Frodo Baggins. You're listening to Turn Off the Century.
Shut the fuck up.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
What's up?
You're listening to Turn Off the Century. We're here. We're back, baby. I'm Robbie. I'm here with Hunter.
Yeah, well, Wizards never late. He's only on time. That's one of the guys. What they say in the movie.
Yeah, sure. What's up? I'm here with Sauce too.
I don't have a quote prepared, but this is maybe the best movie I've ever seen in my life.
I agree. Okay, for real though, we are talking about Lord of the Rings, the classic. I mean, it almost feels weird to.
It's unironically classic. I don't know if everyone's aware of the bit yet, but this is actually unironically
one of the best movies ever made.
There is no irony. Every movie we watch is a classic. It's a stone cold classic.
It is.
But this one is more of a classic.
Or better than Phone Booth. I don't know.
Well, I know, but I mean, like, so for a movie with no Colin Farrell,
I'm letting the viewer decide. Is all I'm saying. I'll let them figure it out.
For a movie with no Colin Farrell and no Rodham Mitchell, they somehow pulled together a miracle, probably the biggest miracle since the New Testament and all the letters in red. We're talking about Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. The first one dropped December 19th, 2001, and I picked this one, namely because of the theme of the podcast. This is December after the September of 2001, and we've mentioned this in prior podcasts, but like America needed to learn, to heal, to laugh, but also to understand what it's like to just get the boys together and go on a motherfucking quest, guys. Just... like for something important. It's not even about us. You know what I mean? It's about not just the boys. Yeah. It's about all the boys.
Well, you have
maybe two chicks, and maybe two if they're around.
I mean, maybe
for when they show up.
if they can save me when I'm feeling down, they're allowed. But otherwise,
and also if they can scare me and be very mommy coded. Also, you know what? maybe. Sorry, fuck. I almost said maybe 9/11 wasn't such a bad thing.
No,
Oh, that'd be great to say.
no.
That would be great to say. Yeah. So the Patreon's in the link. You guys go ahead and fucking. No, but like honestly, so seriously, the reason I picked this one and the reason we're doing this one so close to Christmas is from 2001 to 2003, as if the stars aligned. Every time my Christmas break started in high school, they were the same day they would drop a Lord of the Rings, and it was always a half day, which meant I'd go home from the bus, I'd put on my backpack full of snacks, and I would just walk to the movie. I'd walk 6 miles to the movie theater to go watch one, and it kind of became a ritual. And that's why we're doing this one, and that's why we're doing this one at this time of the year. But also, I mean, straight up, hands down, not only one of the most influential movies of this decade that we're covering, but I mean, in my top 5, I think, hands down. And,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And
This is
yeah. What was your guys' like exposure to like Lord of the Rings as a concept before this movie came out? Because like this was my like introduction to all of it. I just incidentally also had friends who were like big Dungeons and Dragons. They'd already read every word of Tolkien, and they're like, "Oh, like you're gonna like this." Like it had the best sales pitch of all time, which was a captivating trailer that looked fucking wild and expensive. And then also the only people I associated with in middle school and high school are like, "This will change probably your life," if we're being real.
Yeah, so
You guys
it's,
go ahead.
right.
it's interesting because when it was about to come out, my mom was working at a store and she became friends with a lady there, and so her family would watch me and my sister when my mom and stepdad were out doing things, or if they were going out for a while, whatever. They would watch us. My mom's coworker's husband, just old school 70s nerd, right? So like when we go to his house, me and him would always get along because he loved old 70s fantasy.
I like the idea that like Star Wars had been like, no, I don't fuck with that new shit.
But he like you go to his house and it's like he had old tabletop RPG games and he loved Lord of the Rings. So when that first movie was coming out, he really wanted his daughter to see it because he wanted her to have that feeling. And he looked at me and my sister and he's like, "Would you guys want to just go on midnight? I'll buy the tickets. You guys would just want to go." And we're like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And we went, and when I tell you that you could feel the tension in the air when he was like, he wanted it to be good so bad. And so when we left the theater, me and him looked at each other, and we just kind of gave each other the nod, and it was like, yo, that was really good, right?
They did it. They did it. They pulled it off.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And I remember after that, he's like, "Okay, guys, well, the next 2 movies come out, well, I'll pay, and we'll just go to the midnight showing." So we did that for every release of the movie.
All 3 of them?
That's awesome.
Yeah, for all 3 of them.
Fuck, I love that.
Yeah, it's really great.
That's killer. Mine's actually pretty similar because my dad, he's not like the biggest fan. He's not like a nerd. He's a very workman-like blue collar, but he is a nerd in certain ways. Like he likes war games, like historical stuff. But he loves Lord of the Rings. It's like
Just say
kind
Republican.
of an outlier almost. And that I just assume all our dads are. But no, they he was really into Lord of the Rings. I got into the books when I was in, I guess probably like elementary school, something like that at the book fair. And my dad he wanted a Lord of the Rings movie. Actually, what he really wanted was a Hobbit movie, but he really wanted a Lord of the Rings movie that worked because he was not a fan of like the Rankin Bass ones or the Bakshi stuff. Like he wasn't an animated guy, and he's like, this is not for me. And I remember this movie was coming out, and he's like, we are gonna go see this movie. It's gonna be awesome. And we were just excited because I'd read the books at that point, and we went and saw it on opening. I think it was opening day pretty much, and then. Yeah, he's very similar. He was just like, they did it. They finally did it. This is it. This is the one. And I felt really good because I in retrospect, I feel good because I had made him see some legitimate dog shit in theaters up to that point. My dad does not watch a lot of movies. Like, the movies I had made him go see were like Pokemon the first movie, Small Soldiers, and stuff like that.
Small Soldiers
like, he
is
does
good.
not go to the theater a lot. I like Small Soldiers, yes, but... he did not, and there was a lot of like I'd made him see a lot of shit, and then he finally got these movies, and it was like a gift from the gods. He loved it. I think this is the movie I've seen in theaters the second most to The Two Towers, because I think I saw this in that winter. I think I saw it like 5 times in theaters or something.
Yeah,
like
I definitely saw it at least 4 times. that I can recall.
Yeah, not counting like seeing it since then.
Well, and then also like when it first came out on DVD and stuff like that, and renting it. Do you remember how hard it was to actually find the DVD when it came out?
Yeah, I actually had to go to a grocery store that had a like mini rental section, and I remember like I got the last copy, and I like grabbed it, and like even my parents who were like, this like harkens back to the fact that like there was like the thing, there was the monoculture, there was the my parents do not fuck with fantasy at all. It was never a part of my like growing up.
Same
or,
with
like,
my family. Yeah.
But they knew that like you have to watch this one because like holy shit, you know, apparently that they really swung for the fences, you know.
Well, that's what's so crazy about this
Titanic
movie is that if there's ever been a definition of crowd pleaser, it is this movie. Like it literally has something for everyone.
Truly, yes.
It's got hot people. It's got cool shit. It's got great. I don't know. It's one of those things where like I've never seen the culture come together so much in agreement for one thing like that. It was actually really crazy to see in real time.
I have a fun anecdote too around that time because like I went, you know, the first day, like I didn't do midnight showing, but I went first day that it came out and we were already off school, and I went and I saw it, and then I saw it a couple more times, and then I remember going back to school for second semester, and there was this football player in one of my classes, and like his name was Derek. Appearance wise, you'd think biggest meathead just here to bully me, straight up. Like, like this person was genetically designed to be my nemesis. But he also saw it too, and he couldn't get anybody of his like football friends to get into it to like go see it with him. So he just went and saw it alone, and we immediately bonded over it. And then we just started like doing the sword fights in English class, especially like as we get towards the end, the one where Aragorn chops the Uruk-hai's head off. And he's like, we literally just bonded over that, and like I immediately went like, oh damn, this shit is the thing that universally will bind us. You know?
Well, it's funny. I wrote it down in my notes. And I remembered this is like the one movie because we grew up. Me and Sauce, when we went to school and where we lived and everything, it was a very predominantly like Christian town. And it was one of the few movies I could talk to Christian kids about because I feel like it was the one movie they were allowed to see.
It's really weird to me because we mentioned it before. This movie came in second place at the box office to Harry Potter that year, and I came from a small town that was very like Christian values style. Yeah. And it's very strange to me that Lord of the Rings was like totally fine in Harry Potter. They're like, that's the devil's work, and you're the devil if you watch it. Yeah. So I'm just like, I'm gonna watch the one with the guy chopping the orc's head off. That one's fine, actually.
The one that's actually sick and tight, and not like the fantasies that you go to school and you get good grades.
Also, I want to bring up something I found interesting about the movie, and I was just thinking about it, and I think what made Lord of the Rings work as a movie is I think it might be the most expensive B movie ever made, and I don't mean that in like a derogatory sense. I mean that in that the production company, it was New Line Cinema, and you know, New Line Cinema.
I was gonna say this has to be the best investment New Line Cinema ever made.
Yeah, it's
by
New Line Cinema. You know, it's the house that Freddy built. It's Freddy Krueger and the Ninja Turtles and Critters.
Dumb and Dumber, like Mortal Kombat. Actually, you know what? In this house, we fucking respect. I literally, the first note I wrote was New Line logo, like actual seal of quality.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, but then also it's directed by
But
Peter
they were
Jackson.
modern canon. They were essentially modern canon films.
But then it's directed by Peter Jackson. His most big movies he had was like Meet the Feebles and Dead Alive.
Alive.
But you're forgetting that he and his wife were Academy Award winners for best screenplay for Heavenly Creatures, featuring a pre-Titanic Kate Winslet. So I think they proved, which goes to show like that's what I kind of like low-key fuck with these old horror directors, be it like Raimi or Peter Jackson, who really all got their like heyday in the 2000s in the era that we're covering on this podcast, is that they prove their chops with making like, here's how you make something for nothing. Like at the point, like Jackson had only been making movies for $5 million each. His most expensive movie was Frighteners for $26 million, and then just going to show that like, let's get this horror guy. But his most acclaimed work was about like murderous lesbian lovers, down under. And it also was like good enough to be like, they got them best screenplay. And then for them to like just put why this whole movie works is that I don't think there's ever it redefined what the true term passion project is. And I don't think there's ever been a movie made with more care than these three movies. But we're only specifically talking about Fellowship because if it all goes according to plan, every Christmas before we do a Christmas movie, I want to do a Lord of the Ring.
I'm down
for the
with
next
that.
couple of years.
And I think they came out for us at Christmas. I think it makes a lot of sense. Plus, I mean, if you grew up around this time, even if you missed when they came out, like this was. I remember when they first got shown on television. It was one of those big events where it's like for the first time on network TV.
Oh yeah,
it's Lord of the Rings. And they
I
would
love
show
the
it would always be
TBS
around, like,
report
Thanksgiving
featuring Hunter
break
Shelburne.
and stuff like that.
Mr. Frodo's not going anywhere without me.
Taking this crazy chance to be all alone.
I'm glad you're with me.
The Lord of the Rings starts Friday, April 14th at 8/7 Central.
Sam.
On TBS.
They would show it on like TBS or TNT or whatever.
Yeah,
and
TBS.
Yeah,
TNT,
and it'd be like Thanksgiving. We're just showing Lord of the Rings today, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, again, to not to hark on it too much, but like the movies brought people together in a way that I don't think any movie has really done since, and it's kind of crazy to think about. and again, we've been the movie series have been chasing Lord of the Rings since then. I mean, when they were trying to do, Narnia and Golden Compass, and like all those.
Because they classic Hollywood, they took the worst element of why these movies are popular and decided that's actually what people want. And in this one, it was giant battles, which is very funny about Fellowship is that there aren't actually any giant battles outside of the intro of the movie.
That. Yeah,
it's the one movie that doesn't
intro.
have giant battles in it.
Yeah, right. And that's something I actually really liked about this movie too. Because I think Fellowship might actually be my favorite one of the three.
It keeps ordinating for me. I think Towers held strong, and that's the thing. Even rewatching this for the podcast, I have the 4K Blu-ray set. This is how I watched it. I immediately just popped in Two Towers after, like, wasting no time.
And I mean, it's hard to say which one is my favorite because it's like they all are just essentially one movie. So, they were all filmed at the same time. So it's like it's kind of pedantic to go into like which one is actually my favorite. But I really just enjoy Fellowship because I don't know, there's something about the vibe and the feeling and the overall just I don't know. The whole beginning stuff in the Shire is I want to live in the Shire so badly.
So kind of this I feel what you're putting down because like Two Towers is my favorite. I just like the action. I like the ins. There's a lot of stuff in Two Towers I specifically like, but going back to Fellowship is nice. The thing I wrote down was just it's epic but intimate in a like some of the other ones aren't.
Yes, that's
even like
very well
like
very well put. That nails
even
it.
the fights, like you guys mentioned, there's no like sweepy. It's not Battle of Five Armies style big sweeping epic fights.
Yeah.
Even the fights are really they're tight quarters when they're in Balin's tomb. They're in like kind of even in Weathertop. It's not the big. It's just a skirmish pretty much, but it's very it's very condensed and action packed in that spot. I appreciate it more now than I did
when you were
maybe
younger.
When I first saw them in order, because I appreciate as a kid I think more of the Two Towers sweeping stuff, and now I appreciate that kind of like smaller scale stuff that's in Fellowship, the character building stuff that really sets the tone for the series.
I always go back to something Robbie told me, and I don't even know where you got it from, but it is like warped how I perceive all movies going forward, where like the story is always truly secondary because the actual story is the characters. And I think this one is the most laser focused on the characters insofar as it not only has to get the audience to empathize with them, but it has to really build the world. And I think it succeeds where so many like there was an 80s fantasy craze, and it succeeds over those in that like it truly takes the time to get you to be like, no, this is what we're doing. This is where we are. It is like parallel to a world you might understand, but it is not an alternative history of where we come from. It is just truly like fantasy in the purest meaning of the word, which is completely fucking made up. However, the actual like Tolkien himself, the fact that there's that much effort put into the fact that here's every language spoken in this world. Here is the entire history where people are related to each other. People have, and this goes on to my next note, and we'll soon get into the actual like synopsis and breaking down the movie bit by bit, is that like it's that here's these people, they are related to each other. The actions of one have affected the next one for over 1,000 years, the idea that like every little moment or beat matters because it affects something later down the line. And you're also dealing with a different like set of rules. Like we're dealing with a world where like in which magic quote unquote exists, but like it is so seldom seen that when it shows itself, it is almost like the revelation of God in the Bible itself. Like it's the fact that it breaks its own rules of how this world works, and that it exists, and you have to accept it and move on. And I'll stop pontificating, but I'm like, I think that this is a later note that I wrote down, but I'm like, for people who enjoy fantasy as a concept, and it was always known as like, like Dungeons and Dragons is for nerds. This Lord of the Rings, it's for nerds. It's for people who are like why do they have such an attachment to it? This is such a W for why any and all of this works, and how truly relatable it is to whether you're a guy with a blue collar job or you're a guy fresh in college. Introduces you to something that you're like, there is this alternate world you can live in. Well,
and that's why I bring up why it's so interesting that New Line Cinema was the one that produced this and made it happen, is because this is almost like the culmination of the whole New Line. I mean, after this movie, that's when they started going under, and they because they expanded too much, and Warner Brothers got more and more of them.
Yeah. They took over eventually. So they became the primary.
But this was like the culmination of everything New Line Cinema was trying to do. It was a risk. It was taking a chance. It was getting these like lesser known kind of things and putting it into everyone's viewpoint. And Lord of the Rings, I think, is very emblematic of that, because as popular as Lord of the Rings is, it wasn't like as popular as it is now until those movies came out. I feel like. Oh yeah,
this is it's kind of one of those things in retrospect. It's like, obviously Lord of the Rings is popular. It's like, that's not the case.
That was not. No.
I mean, it was a popular fantasy book.
Yes.
But going into this movie, it's a risk. It's kind of like I hate to compare this, but I remember going into the Avengers movies, the MCU stuff. People, like, in retrospect, people are always like, "Oh yeah, Marvel's huge. Marvel's this and that, whatever." They kind of forget that the lead up to that was actually kind of shaky. Like, the movies were big, but everyone going into the Avengers was like, "We don't know if this is even going to work. If we can even make that happen." It's the same kind of thing for me with Lord of the Rings. Like, you go into this, it's like, this is not. You could, up until this point, any Lord of the Rings movie hadn't done well. Like the Bakshi movies. Like, people remember them, but they didn't make any money.
No.
None of this made any money. And like what you're saying, Sauce, about like the fantasy movies of the 80s, I have a fondness for them, but Excalibur wasn't like raking in the dough.
Excalibur was
expensive to appeal to a niche,
Yes.
Yeah. Legend and stuff like that. Like, they're expensive movies to make, and then they didn't make any money. So this would be, I mean, Conan made money, but there's certain, there are exceptions to the rule. So this wasn't a guarantee. There was no guarantee that this was going to be a billion-dollar franchise.
And they threw so much money at it.
Yeah, the best sales pitch that you could have given this one was the fact that it was always considered, much like Dune before it, like a truly unfilmable movie. That's why it didn't work. That's why, as ambitious as New Line was, they only promised Jackson 2 movies. They're like, can you do it in 2? And
yeah.
I don't know how much of this was like approved, or how much, like, I think especially after the first one, they had the full faith to be like, let the boy cook. He shot everything.
Well, I think originally too, Peter Jackson wanted it to be a 2-movie Lord of the Rings with some of the Hobbit like put in there in the
Correct.
first one, and then I think owner of New Line, but he kind of went, no, let's just do Lord of the Rings. Let's not put any Hobbit in there, and let's just go, kind of.
Yeah, we'll save that 200-page book for a 9-hour other trilogy.
It's a separate trilogy.
But I'm saying, like, the fact that, like, the risk taking, and then, like, truly, like, the confidence of Peter Jackson, there hadn't really actually been anything like this, and I'm sure there are other people who are ambitious, all the way from Howard Hughes and on, like that just trying to be like, I want to do something different. But the fact that, like, to have this much confidence that you can not only film the unfilmable book trilogy, but give it 3 entries and film them all at the same time and lock all these people in and just drop it on people, and then, like, just give them that event, Like, I'll keep bringing 9/11 up on this podcast because I feel like that it
I mean, it kind of covers the whole era.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like that, just to give people something that is ultimately concentrated on hope and what it's like about for characters who, for all intents and purposes, like, do not come from good places. They do not come from the right, like, whether it's the right, like, make, or the right history, or the right anything to, like, make good decisions and to deliver people through hope. But to make such a hopeful movie and to just I don't know, it's kind of a miracle this movie exists.
It is. It is a miracle.
Kind of. It is literally a miracle that these movies exist.
No, it's literally. Yeah,
I feel like
it's a miracle.
It's a gift, and, like, I will probably get as reverent as I'm gonna get on this podcast as it pertains to these movies. And I think just we've already spent a good 20 minutes talking about how it affected us. Like, I kind of want to get into just talk about the movie
let's
in the order it happens.
going.
And like I said, like, the first note I took was the New Line logo. I'm like, I knew I was in good hands. In that, like, it was like, sorry, like Dumb and Dumber and Mortal Kombat and all these other movies. I knew that when I saw the New Line, it was
Ninja
right up there with
Turtles.
also like Ninja. See, like it was like these are the chance taking guys. That is their before brand as a concept existed to me.
Yeah, it's taking properties and turning them into stuff that we like because they had a good track record for that.
Because the first movie New Line made any money off of was they bought the rights to Reefer Madness because Bob Schaefer had noticed that the copyright was messed up on the original Reefer Madness, so he bought the print because it was technically in public domain, and then he just started basically showing screenings to college campuses of Reefer Madness and taking advantage of the campiness and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, that's what made his first fortune, was taking this weird old movie, that big propaganda movie, and just putting it out to college students, and then from there it's like
it's such a pro art mentality. I love that.
Yes, absolutely. And then that's when and then after that, then he started, John Waters movies and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and like exploitation and horror and all that kind of stuff. He really started kind of going out into that, and it's so again that's why I say this is like the most expensive B movie, because it's like they made their money off creature features and horror films, and this movie I think exemplifies a lot of that as far as. There's so many little creatures and special effects and and just it's sorceries and swords bullshit, but like done with the utmost respect.
But, I mean, it's Campbellian too, and it's like there's not only the hero's arc, but for being the we'll just say like I'll give Tolkien the credit, like the progenitor of fantasy. Truly as a concept.
Yes, absolutely. He invented fantasy, and then every fantasy author in D&D has basically been chasing it ever since.
Yes, and he subverts it in the first stroke, like from the first entry. In a way, like aside from like look at Hobbit as like a children's book, which is kind of like how you're supposed to look at that. But to take it and then turn it into the stakes of the world are all laid bare before you, much as we'll get into in this intro. But the fact that like he's subverting it in the meantime too, so you're like the tension is still there. The idea that like you maybe if the fact that that there's gonna be 3 movies made about this, like you have a pretty high hope that the boys are gonna win, but you don't you're along for the ride. You're along to see what they're going to put through and who will actually see it to the end. And I kind of give Fellowship the most credit for the fact that like it has a kill count. It has some like truly devastating moments of loss.
Oh yeah.
And that's just from the beginning. So that lets you know like where this is going.
And even that whole intro, the way we start the movie with the whole intro of kind of explaining what this world even is
yes.
I think so well done. And
yeah, it's kind of crazy how I don't usually enjoy the just kind of just the voiceover intro talking over view of here's the map of the world and here's what's going on and here's the shorthand, but it's the only way you really could have started this movie, and it works so well because there's just so much information but it doesn't feel like an info.
It doesn't feel like an info dump.
Someone's telling you a story.
Yeah,
it's the most info dump a movie has ever done, but. It's done
in a way that
it's the first stunt.
Feel like you're being lectured to.
Yes,
exactly.
I don't feel like it's
leading with it.
It really is like, hey, no, look, we're trying to ease you into this world because we know this world is like kind of out there and kind of weird, and like so here, just come along with us. Is kind of how I feel like that intro operates as. Sit down, check it out. Here's a weird world for you to kind of exist in.
It's almost like a parable versus an actual story. It's like, here's Isildur, and you don't want to be like Isildur. He's dumb. Don't do what Donnie Don't does.
So like just to kind of describe, if you haven't seen this movie, for fuck's sake, turn the podcast off and just watch it and come back.
Just go watch it.
Like, I'm not going to drop that on too many other movies, but like for fuck's sake, stop what you're doing and just watch it. Even if you've already seen it, go back to it again. Trust me, I think there's something in there that'll reinvigorate, respark something for you. But I put in there, one of the notes I wrote was, rather than Sins of the Father, you're watching Sins of the Son. Elendil, in this intro, that there are rings forged to unite all kingdoms, be it from the world of men, the world of elves, the world of dwarves, and then unfortunately Sauron, the world of Mordor. The linguistics, the fact they treat all the other languages in this movie with such reverence, and that they try to speak other languages that don't exist in our world. So nice. But you watch Elendil, who is the king of men. After all, everyone had been betrayed. This ring is forged, and it's the nuke. It's every world-ending device put into one, and it's just a simple gold wedding band-looking ring. But Elendil leads his forces and falls immediately, and his son Isildur squares off against the Dark Lord himself, Sauron. You know, all this stuff, like just throwing it all at you. You're watching the only war scene in this movie of an alliance of elves and men come at each other, and in a with the sword broken, still swings, cuts the ring off his finger, wins the war. And it is not a sins of the father story, because Elendil dies nobly. However, his son is immediately corrupted and won't give the ring up. And he won't give it's a weapon he doesn't even know how to use. He doesn't even have the potential or power to use. But it's such a Dick Swagger moment of I've known best of the enemy. I'm going to carry it as my tribute. You know,
that's what I like kind of about the whole concept of the ring in the first place, of the ring being the source of power, is that like nobody knows what even the capability is. Nobody even understands what they would do with what they get it.
You see Sauron use it, and it was like with the flick of his wrist, he is able to like just cast 100 soldiers like into the air. You know, like when he's wielding it, it's the most like terrifying power you've ever seen. But the fact that Isildur keeps it as this. Because we're still in the intro, we're still 1,000 years before the story even starts. Isildur keeps it, and the fact that they personify the ring as well. Like, it has a will of its own. It will bring the doom to anyone who has to carry it. And Isildur himself is killed in a very, like, just after winning this battle, after being the hero of all humanity, is immediately just like, oh, he got jumped in the woods, and then he just died.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It takes away
wrecked.
all of your own like legacy. It feels like this profound item, and like it's such a simple object, and it's lost. And I just for the sake of continuing the prologue, like the ring is lost. It's told in this is like very like fairy tale, like, yeah, there's this thing, and the world would have been a better place if we all just forgot about it. But it was reclaimed by a creature, Smeagol, aka Gollum, who,
aka Robbie.
No, hey.
Yeah, it's Robbie. It's Robbie.
On.
Robbie's more of a
it's you.
Robbie's more of a Gimli, I imagine, but bigger.
Yeah,
he's a Smeagol.
Wait.
Nah, he's Smeagol.
Both of you shut the fuck up. I'm Aragorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I'm cool as hell. I'm hot. I got a hot girlfriend.
Okay.
This is what it's fuck. The archetypes are so they're running. So I mean, like, yeah, Smeagol, which we don't even is revealed to us was ever like a person at any point. It's just this little like gremlin goblin who has been blessed with unlimited life because of the ring, and then eventually Bilbo finds it. Actual fucking legend, Ian Holm. Like, the second I saw that he was playing Bilbo, I was like, oh, everybody knows exactly what the fuck they're doing with this.
Scariest guy in the movie when he later on. He
yeah,
the one scene that's like a.
That scene got me so good when I watched it last night.
Yeah.
Yep. Same.
So yeah, then we realized, like, yeah, all this fighting was for naught. The ring was kept eventually by a hobbit. And then a second introduction, a second, like, just absolute, like, info dump. The fact that they're able to do these sequentially and nobody's, like, I think they vary enough. They change enough to where no one's
and it doesn't become boring or yeah.
No, and this is something before we hit record, we were all just, like, being like I think the Shire is, like, ultimately what everybody really kind of wants out of life, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
The movie opens with a bunch of guys smoking weed in their favorite, like,
just hanging out in the most beautiful
drinking
place you've ever seen. And then what do they do at night? They go to the pub and they just hang out, and then they drunkenly stumble home, and then they eat a bunch of food. It's like,
yeah,
it's what
the Shire, just to describe it. I mean, it's this green valley, and everyone's houses are built into the hills, and you see these cherubic style people. Like, they're all like 3'5". They're little, like, it's so funny. Like, Hobbit is a funny thing to explain because, like, elves, like, in the Tolkien world, they're tall and like, connected to spiritual world and God and all that stuff. Whereas like elves, like with Christmas, is like these tiny little kids or what have you. So it's like I think I like the idea of hobbits and halflings as these like they have to kind of introduce this concept I think to a lot of people because anybody can be like, oh yeah, an elf is like a leprechaun, is like a what I mean, whatever cryptid you want to say. That it looks like a kid, but it's
cryptid.
Just
yeah, these are my cryptids. Frodo is a cryptid.
And elves are kind of interesting in the Tolkien world too because they're almost like a little snobbish and a little
as peaceful. Like I wrote down in my notes is like the Shire is Eden. It is like it is perpetually. It looks like
it is paradise. Yes.
Yeah. A harvest season where like not these people don't have to work. They still work, but they take pride and pleasure in their work, and they only associate with each other. And then they get very provincial, where like their only drama comes from their own little like inner workings, and it almost feels like made up. To an extent, the fact that they have like
they had to make up their own problems to
yeah, but it's still preferential to any reality we live in. The fact that they're almost the most enlightened people in the entire world of Tolkien and Middle Earth is that like the hobbits that are like they really only associate with each other. They live like just far enough away from everybody where like they're not disturbed by anything. They have no real reason to like take caution. They're living these very like non-threatening lives, and it's just the most romantic thing I think I've ever seen put to film. And especially when you have to like describe it, they're like essentially like I don't want to say dwarves like how they are in Tolkien, but like dwarves like who among us today are like they're little guys. They don't need to be big. They don't need to be scary. They don't have any predation to worry about. Like they're just living their best life, And we're introduced
Gandalf shows up,
and then Gandalf shows up.
God, I want to be friends with wizards so bad, man.
I think all of our positive connotations on why wizards are sick and tight and the coolest thing ever, it's all Gandalf. Like I think
it is all Gandalf. You're absolutely right.
Like I said, like compared to the actual highest grossing film of that year, like where like wizards are, you just get really good grades on your homework. Like Gandalf is the actual like, why is this cool? Like you're, like no other archetype is that where like being an old man is actually the sickest and tightest thing you can be. But he's an old man. His power scaling is truly like never revealed.
There's always little hints that he has so much more power than he's letting on. And
oh yeah.
And but then it's like again, I think those moments are done so well when you really just see just a small hint of how much power he actually wields. But then it's like how humble he kind of stays. I find that very interesting with Gandalf in general.
Yeah. Well, so his intro is parallel introduced with Bilbo, who is 111 years old as of the starting of this movie, but who only looks like he's about 60, and he's writing a book. He's in his life he's accomplished a lot. He's grown quite wealthy. And he's trying to be like, what I want my life to mean something. And I love the Shire. I don't think there's anywhere ever better. And he's like, I want to commemorate what I've done with my life into a book. And it coincides with Gandalf's introduction. And then also Frodo, who we've introduced to, the title card drop on Frodo coming in, which not in my version. I watched the extended, which will definitely kind of pick up.
Oh, I guess, yeah, we didn't mention...
Go ahead.
Because you watched extended. Did you both watch extended?
No, I watched.
I did.
Okay, cool. So you watched extended. You watched theatrical. I watched theatrical as well.
I only watch extended now, and I'll just say like this is a personal preference. Like I'm so enamored in love with this world that I will take any additional minute you can. I think Fellowship might have the best use of the extended material in that it really, I think, more often than not. I think there's only one scene that I'll come to when we get to it, like that is not enhanced by the fact that it is extended, But to continue on, we're introduced to our main players, Bilbo, who is now kind of taken over the Galadriel narrative role, is introducing what hobbits are, what the world is. Frodo, who will be our main character ostensibly for the entire series, sees that Gandalf has come back. He has some reputation in the world of hobbits when a wizard shows up.
Well, yeah, he brought a little trouble to Bilbo.
Just a bit.
But, I mean, he's just bringing a little chaos to the world, which I think is also something the hobbits need every once in a while. They need a little excitement in their life.
Yeah.
when they go to the pub, they need something to talk about.
and to go back to why wizards are so fun in this world, that like he's like ostensibly homeless. Like his job as an immortal being, as one of the Maiar, which is not explained in this movie, is that he just wanders from place to place and like just starts shit. He just gets shit going. He just helps people fulfill narratives that they need to do. And like wizards are so cool when used correctly.
But also I love when he shows up and he's just like, he's in the thing, he's just smoking his pipe, he's just getting high, just like he's like almost enamored with the Shire as much as like the audience is, and I find that very cool. When he sees Bilbo and he tells him, he's like, "You haven't aged a day." Like he's almost like as enamored as they want the audience to be with this world.
Yeah, he likes the hobbits because he's seen so much of the world that it's like this is truly like a peaceful place. It's always a treat to go visit them because they're just so truly unbothered by all the other like, politics you could say.
He likes going back to his little short friends that have good weed. He's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I get to have some beer. I'm gonna shoot some fireworks. They're all gonna be stoked.
We're gonna blow our fingers off. It's gonna be great. Hi, I'm Gandalf. Welcome to Jackass.
I'm Gandalf, and this is fucking with hobbits.
You're late.
A wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Pulls Frodo's shirt over his head and starts slapping him on the stomach.
Come on, Gandalf.
Go on, Gandalf.
No, something I wrote down too, and as the movie's going on, I was just like, Lord of the Rings to me is a nice pair of Ray-Bans or like a denim jacket, in that it just feels timeless. Like, nothing about this movie feels outdated, even though it was made at this point, 20-something years ago.
24 years ago now, yeah.
Yeah,
since it was
so
released,
it's like,
even.
Right, and in the fact, like, you just watch it, and it doesn't feel outdated at all. So it just feels timeless. It feels like, again, putting on like a nice pair of Ray-Bans. It just doesn't go out of style. And
that is interesting, because even going back to like 80s fantasy, like Conan the Barbarian or Excalibur or whatever, Legend, you always look at those, and I feel like there is a sense of, like, you can almost place the exact year those movies are made just by watching it for some reason. This one, like, maybe you could if you didn't grow up with them, but really, there's just not a lot of, like, tells other than maybe some CGI here or there, but nothing. But it still looks great. It still looks great for.
And again, I think the CGI in the movie, and maybe I'm skipping a little far, but I think the CGI is the benefit of working with a company like New Line, in that they almost shoot the CGI monsters and stuff like that in the same way they would with puppets and animatronics and things like that, where. Because I feel like a lot of modern movies now, and especially a lot of modern movies that are very CGI heavy, want to show you every inch of a big giant monster. Whereas in Lord of the Rings, I feel like they do a lot of clever cuts, and there's a lot of shadows, there's a lot of like clever lighting to where you're never getting the full image of it. So it makes it more exciting, more interesting, and you never get that chance to sit there and go, this looks kind of crappy.
Yeah. Or even when like the big battles happen, like when we see the recap of the Isildur and all that stuff, it just doesn't like it doesn't look that bad. They keep it at smaller scales. They are backing the camera off of it, so you're not really up close to when you're seeing like the effects of the ring fights and stuff like that. You're seeing the back of Sauron's head and guys kind of just flying off on wires, going left and right from his magic swing.
Yeah.
So it just works out. It works out really well.
And so Gandalf comes to visit Bilbo for his 111th birthday. He's immediately caught off guard. You mentioned it. He's caught off guard that he hasn't aged a day. And they have this whole wonderful, like, you really get to see where this movie starts to stunt. Is the fact that like hobbits are like 3'5", whereas Gandalf is like 6'4". And like having to inhabit in their world and like walk through a hobbit hole, which is like a very nice.
When he goes into his house and everything, and he's just like
he's constantly bumping his head and like running into shit, But then you see that they have a sort of plan worked out. It is very intentional that Gandalf, much like he said in his introduction, a wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to. That they have a sort of plan for Bilbo's departure, because even though he lives this very lovely life, he wants one more adventure. And now that he's an old age, I think he knows what that last adventure really means. And that is like the one that sends him off. And he's full on willing and ready to leave Eden, this heaven on earth. And they bring up that, like, Frodo is quite fond of you. He suspects that we have something kind of up our sleeves. We're then introduced to the party, like Bilbo's party, which I think is a great, like, everyone and anyone shows up. Even if you're not invited, you show up. It's like it's an all out like kegger rager.
It's a rager, man.
All seek it. All crave it. And now you can own it. Possess the most spectacular and exciting vision of Middle-earth.
They are coming.
When The Lord of the Rings comes home on VHS and DVD.
This ring, it must be destroyed.
If you do not find a way, no one will.
The Lord of the Rings on VHS and DVD.
I know what I must do.
Claim possession August 6th.
We're introduced to the other two hobbits who I know we had a little bit earlier about who's who, but I'm like, y'all are fucking Merry and Pippin for sure.
No, what?
Look,
first off, we're all Merry and Pippin. There's
Yes.
just a third Merry or Pippin, and we're all one of them.
Here's
I
the
only
thing.
say
have
that
to
in that I
invent a
feel like
third Merry
I'm
Pippin.
very Sam coded in that I'm technically the main character, even though nobody knows it until the
Nah,
third movie.
come on. All right, let's.
I think there's Merry, Pippin, and Miffin, and you're
Sauce,
Miffin.
it's very cute.
There's just a third. We have to invent a third Pippin.
Sauce, it's very cute that you think that you're Sam, but at the end of the day, we're all Merry or Pippin because all I want to do is, like, you see the boys, they're about to go on an adventure. I want to go out on an adventure too, but I also don't really want to do anything that crazy. I just kind of want to get drunk and find mushrooms.
Yeah, smoke weed, and then, yeah. I'm trying not to get into the Two Tower stuff before we get...
do Hobbit stunts, do Jackass stuff,
Yeah.
Hobbit style.
Which, okay, I
steal
think this
people's
movie,
groceries.
to get it back into the on track, I think this movie does fan service perhaps better than fucking anything, insofar as, like, if you are a fan of this material, you know that Hobbit comes first, and you know that Gandalf took Bilbo on a quest to go kill a dragon. The fact that one of the fireworks goes off and it's a dragon, and everybody knows Gandalf is back in town, like, there's so many, like,
They're like,
synapses
"Ah,
that
here we
fire.
go."
We're like, this is so good. We're like, because everyone freaks out when the dragon firework comes off. By the way, Gandalf brings fireworks to entertain the party.
He's the homie.
Wizards
Yeah.
have the most Chinese fireworks you've ever seen in your life.
Wizard rockets, baby. Wizard rockets.
It rocks so hard too. I love that, like, Gandalf is just like showing off the fireworks to little kid hobbits and just like check this
Yeah.
shit out.
Yeah, and all the parents are like, please don't show our kids fireworks. Please don't do this.
To further it too, Bilbo, what's he doing at his own party? He's literally telling kids the story of the Hobbit, and he's like, and we were caught by 3 trolls who were going to eat us or turn us into jelly. And like, I believe the kid who's the cutest is actually Peter Jackson's kid. I might be wrong.
Oh,
Correct
really?
me if I'm wrong, chat.
I think you might be. I think you actually might be correct. I recall that.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
and that just, it's both fan service, but it's also like character building, and that, like, at Bilbo's own party, he doesn't even want to entertain these people. He's almost like seeing it as like a burden, in that fact that he's just such a power player in the Shire that it's kind of expected of him.
It's annoying. It's because
Yeah,
that's what,
but what does
when
he
Gandalf
ultimately want
knocks
to
on the
do?
door.
He wants to tell about his glory days, which were all stories about leaving the Shire and, like, doing fun things with your life. He's genuinely passing it on.
All more stories.
Yeah, he's passing it on to the youth before he puts his book out, which will hopefully inspire them to do the same, which is this again, much like Robbie said earlier too, or Robbie told me earlier in my life, where I'm like, the character is everything, and they lock it in, and then we have Merry and Pippin, who not only steal fireworks, but fuck it up so bad that they cause a terrorist attack.
They trigger PTSD in a bunch
Yeah, and then Gandalf has to literally babysit them while they wash all the dishes, like, still with all the soot
Well, so
and
I
sulfur
wrote it
on their
down.
face.
And I picked this up on my viewing last night, and I realized that the major themes of the movie, it's the fear of change, the danger of nostalgia, but also the fear of forgetting the past. And it's all three of them.
Very
which almost
crucial
seems
impression.
contradictory,
Mhm.
but, like, it is this thing of, like, there is this fear of change because they do live in such a paradise, but it's also always constantly looking back on your glory days or the nostalgic era. That, like, that's just as dangerous as possibly going out into the real world, And but then also
It's
you can't
the
forget
best use
past.
of pro-boomer propaganda I've ever seen. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it actually humanizes them, and I think that's why this truly is canonized as like art, capital A art. You know, it takes the most unsympathetic people and makes them first off reckon with the decisions they've made. Bilbo went on this quest and he brought a ring home and he's been keeping it. And then we're led to his final speech for as far as the Shire is concerned and Frodo.
Yeah.
And Bilbo gets up and thanks everyone for a fantastic life, thanking everybody who came, even if you weren't invited, you know what I mean? He's like, I like half of you as much as you deserve, and the other half I don't even like you at all. I don't remember. I can never remember. I've been trying to quote this line for years. I can never remember it fully, but he gives his speech and suddenly takes a serious turn where he goes, and I must be going now, and he's ultimately like fulfilling his own mythology, his own legend as the one hobbit who actually fucking left and like did a really cool fucking thing. He puts the ring on, disappears, and to never be seen again as far as the rest of the Shire is concerned. And this immediately gives grievous caution to Gandalf, who rushes back to Bilbo's hole, and they have one of the most important conversations in the movie. Let's continue.
Yeah. I mean Gandalf, he's not thrilled with the stuff that Bilbo pulled there. He's like, wait.
He knows what can turn you invisible. He knows what magic rings are out there and what they can do. And he's like, what did you do? What'd you get into, bud?
He used it for a party trick, like, which immediately he's like, hey, I know I'm which I wrote down in my notes, Gandalf is your dad's weird but very fun friend. So when you make that guy go like, okay, so just so you know, like it was cute when we did that shit 60 years ago, but like not for nothing. And he's like, you know, you can't really be fucking with like magic rings though, right? Like unaware, blissfully unaware that it was one of the rings of power, let alone the ultimate ring of power.
For real, you really shouldn't be talking to those 16-year-old girls, like
exactly. Yeah, it was good as a bit, but
yeah, but now, like, dude, you're way too old to be doing this.
Yeah. But we see that their plan is that, like, Bilbo, that was supposed to be his exit. He wants to leave the Shire. He wants to feel what he felt when he was young. A young 65-year-old.
He moved out of the country and he lived in New York for a year.
Yeah, he can't.
Yeah, he got really into leftist politics, man. You know, and just like
I like The Hobbit as an entry in this, and that like it exists in now this world as a like one-sided perspective on this big story that took place, and that it's like he's trying to write the book that will eventually become The Hobbit, and then the one we read is the one that Bilbo wrote. You know, it's his there and back again.
Well, and that's what's fun to when you read The Hobbit is that it feels like a story that's being misremembered by the guy who
correct
wrote it, you know,
precisely to a T, you know. But we see that so he intends to leave everything to Frodo Baggins, which is his nephew who's adopted, who he's had a moment with at the party where he said like, you know, like I didn't adopt you, because Frodo's parents are dead. Like he's like, I didn't adopt you out of this whole like, oh, it's family, it's necessities. Like I care about you. Like I want you to have the best life possible. And he's like he leaves him, so he's talking to Gandalf. He's leaving him everything, and Bilbo has accumulated a mass wealth from the quest that he went on in The Hobbit. And Gandalf stops and he goes like, that includes the ring, right? You know, like the magic ring. And Bilbo he's starting to realize like subconsciously he's trying to keep it. He doesn't want to give it up. And now we start seeing that the ring has a will of its own, where it goes like, it will not be used to its full potential under Bilbo's care now that he's leaving the Shire. Yeah. And one of the best lines, I love hence the like Gandalf is like, we actually don't know how to power scale him, is Bilbo starting to freak out at the idea of losing his ring, losing his unlimited cocaine/heroin like device. He starts accusing Gandalf of being like, you just want the ring for yourself. Like, no, like you're actually a selfish friend who never came to visit me, and you don't care about me at all, and you never cared about me. And
Gandalf turns on dad mode.
He turns on dad. Yeah. The fact that it's not even, it doesn't have to be this like fantastical thing. The fact that like somebody much bigger than you is talking in the dad voice and the room gets dark, which I don't know how hard you guys have been scolded by your parents
that
in the past.
That effect was so cool.
I
love that, dude. The way that scene looked, it's how you feel when you're getting scolded.
Yeah, do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks. Like it's oh shit. Like he's like, no, he's like, hey, just so you know, like we're friends, but I will fuck you up.
It's him bringing him to the real world. Like, look, look, man, I like you. We are having fun in games. We're having a good time, but you're dealing with shit that you have no idea what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You have no clue.
I'm not trying to rob you. I'm here to help. And like dropping it, bringing the color back into the room and being like, I'm trying to help you. That I've had
It's
friends
so cool.
bring me back from the brink like that. That has like, shit, fuck. I get so fucking emotional over this movie. It's really stupid as we go on.
No, that's what makes this movie work. Is that they?
Yeah,
it's treated with
while it is
such sincerity.
Yes, it's treated with respect and sincerity. It's never once embarrassed about what it is. It just fully leans in to being what it is. And I think that's why it connected with so many people, because it is just like,
absolutely,
this is what it is. Either you take it or you don't, you know? And so,
yeah.
I mean, this was the beginning of, like, because of how sincere this movie was, and like what y'all said, or Sausage pointed out at the beginning, like, it was such a widespread phenomenon and hit. I mean, this is what turned the tide on fantasy becoming mainstream.
Absolutely.
Like,
yes.
the most annoying nerds you've ever met that were always like, oh, I got beat up in high school because I was a nerd and I read D&D. Like, that doesn't happen because of this
movie. Yeah,
but they still got fucking jobs and they named their tech companies after fucking all the evil devices in this movie.
It's the worst, but
like, I know Palantir sucks, but like, can you wait until like one of these fucking assholes just invents a fucking surveillance program called the One Ring or the Eye of Sauron itself?
Sauron,
like, you fucking assholes. You dipshits, you fucking morons. You literally have the most like sincere example of why this stuff works and why it's ultimately about like how hard it is to be good. And you literally watched it and learned nothing.
Yeah, you learned nothing.
All because you're a pedophile who got on an airplane. Fuck you.
Whoa, hey. Welcome to Turn Off the Century, where we are not political in any way, shape, or form.
Sorry, I've actually been like respectful of Tolkien's will of like, don't draw direct analogies, because it's like you kind of miss the point.
This isn't one-to-one or anything.
It doesn't matter what was inspired by it. And I know they made a movie about how Tolkien in the trenches came up with Lord of the Rings. I'm like, oh, I'm fine with that. I think like personally, like I don't like, no, I low-key like respect his will of being like,
No, to say that he wasn't
it's bigger about that because it's always been this.
Right. It's to say he wasn't influenced by his experiences would be silly, obviously. But like,
yeah,
I think that's the best way to look at it, especially when, you know, making a fantasy world. That this isn't one-to-one. This isn't just
because it has to be relatable. It has to be relatable enough whether you grew up in Ukraine or you grew up in China or you grew up like where they're like, oh, these like. It's myth, it's legend, but it's also like very relevant to some feeling I've had, you know.
Yes.
It's also cool, like the fact that, I mean, regardless of the inspiration from World War One and his experiences, I'm kind of curious. I've always been a little bit curious about if Peter Jackson's interest, because Peter Jackson is an enormous. He's one of the foremost World War One historians. Like, he's
I've seen the For They Shall Not Grow Old.
Yeah, he's got a huge collection of memorabilia and stuff like that, and I wonder if that ties into because it ties into his family's history with World War One, but also if that crossed over. At all.
I almost feel like one hand washes the other though too, and like in his absolute resolve to like truly like bring Tolkien's vision to life is that he then in turn got so into World War One. You know what I mean? In that like it's such a inescapable part of what made the man who he was, you know.
Absolutely.
Sure. Just to continue, the Bilbo drops the ring on his way out with just a backpack. He's literally leaving everything behind to retire in peace. And his actual last will is to go on one last adventure where he writes a book. And it leaves his legacy for everyone, which we'll come back to as we get into that later part.
Something I really liked when he dropped the ring,
the weight.
It's such a small little thing. You have the weight of the ring. The fact that it doesn't bounce when it falls on the floor.
Exactly.
I think it's such a nice little touch, and it's so small, but it's so crucial to like helping you as the audience kind of understand the weight of the ring. Not the literal weight, but the overall weight, you know, of everything that's going to happen here.
It's a truly beautiful object.
This is bringing me back to when we talked about Silent Hill and the concept of adaptation. I'm like, this is how you use the medium of film to adapt something. Now, granted, it's a book which is like less dimensional than, say, a video game. Which is, unfortunately, video games are actually like 2 dimensionals higher than film, which is why it's so hard to adapt. This is one of those where I think that like it's not just a visual, physical, it's a sound metaphor. He's taking the weight off his shoulders by dropping the ring, and it slams down, and Gandalf does not pick it up. He leaves it there and contemplates, because he's been alive for so long, he contemplates, what is this? What could this possibly be? This might be, and he goes into full boomer conspiracy internet mode by going into his own brain. He just starts smoking weed.
Logs onto Facebook.
He goes on TikTok, and he starts falling down the rabbit hole. He starts scrolling down. And
what did the stone people use this ring for?
He goes on Wizard Reddit. He goes like, does anybody have an example of this fucking... And then this is where I think one of the most amazing scenes, because Frodo comes home, because even like we're supposed to believe that in the time it took the everybody kind of panicked that Bilbo just disappeared, and that was it. He was, and then he wasn't any further. Frodo comes home hoping to see Bilbo there, and realizing that he's gone, and it's just Gandalf, and Frodo is out of focus, and he sees the ring, and he picks it up, and it's such a nice moment, in that like this small moment kicks off everything that will happen for the next for watching a movie 12 hours. Watching extended versions 12 hours, is the fact that he so casually and out of focus picks up the ring, and he goes, oh, it's Bilbo's ring. And
yeah, ring. What's that all
oh
about?
yeah,
weird. No, whatever.
And Gandalf confirms to him, like, yeah, this was our plan. This is how he wanted to retire. He's left you everything that he owns in the Shire, and he makes him put the ring away. Keep it secret, keep it safe. He's like, I have to leave early. And again, Frodo, the Shire people, like, they're so, the hobbits, they're so oblivious to the fact that, like, there are
the outside world,
big forces at play. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that he's like, he doesn't want Gandalf to leave. He literally looks at him and is like, it's my dad's fucking weird friend who's really fun, who comes and brings fireworks and shit happens when he shows up. And he tells him, he's like, I would like to stay, but I can't. Now that, like, there's something so pressing that, like, we can't even actually waste time not knowing for a fact.
I have to figure this out now.
Yeah. And a great wizard montage after this, too. We're like, what do wizards do? They go to the fucking library, they fucking smoke weed under candlelight and read books for, like, what's in the timeline. The timeline of these books are so good, because it's like, this movie versus the movie is so good, is that, like, this has been like 6 months. He literally went to go fuck off and read books for 6 months. Before,
I mean, that's how you had to get the internet. You couldn't do Chat GPT,
Yeah.
He couldn't just grok it.
It's actually very smart of you that you found one, and it's very like, you're like, honestly, it kind of low-key makes you more handsome to have just a ring that you don't even wear, like you keep it in your pocket. Kind of makes you a fucking like a bleeding edge of fashion.
Puts it on like unhinged mode, like
yeah.
Like, what if he does that?
Yes, that's a different movie where Gandalf gets AI psychosis. No, but yeah, he goes and reads for like 6 months, and then he's like, you know what? Gotta go see my best bud. That's the only one that can explain this, right?
My good friend who won't turn on me.
Sorry. Yeah. So, but he immediately realizes that he's like, when put to fire, the ring will reveal its true form.
Oh yeah.
And he races back. I mean, like, in the trailer, like, this actually like sold people in the trailer immediately. Is the extreme close up on yes. Gandalf going, is it secret? Is it safe? Like it's so fuck. This movie is so romantic. I don't know how else to like fucking describe it. He takes the ring in the envelope, throws it in the fire, and Frodo's like, "The fuck, dude! Like,
that's my shit."
You went missing for 6 months again. Like, he's literally just...
You show up and you throw an envelope.
He just he runs in, he starts yelling at me about keeping stuff secret, then throws my shit in the fire. What the hell, man?
And he pulls it out, drops it in Frodo's, and I love it's quite cool. Like, it's like, you threw metal and fire, like, here, hold on to this for me. Like, hey, bitch, like,
cool,
are you
dude.
fucking crazy?
I've seen the ring. I've owned it for 6 months.
Yeah. And the reversal is so good in that, like, he's like, yeah, no, it's just a ring. Like, there's nothing fucking special about it. And Gandalf was like, thank God. And then not only does...
Oh, wait, it actually does say something.
Hey, what the fuck? Like, there's like a 15-second delay. That's so weird. The writing on the ring...
It's a hypercolor ring.
The writing on the ring reflecting on Frodo's face. Oh, fuck. Like...
Yeah, what a those cool, like simple effect of just like...
Yeah.
It gets so simple, but so effective in a way that...
It's just such an iconic-looking thing. It's just that it's a perfect object. The One Ring is a perfect object
in its simplicity, which gets addressed to. Sorry, I'm trying to ignore the typing sounds real quick. One Ring inscription. Okay, tattoos. Yeah, don't do that.
Guys, we're all getting matching tattoos.
We're all honestly.
I got an idea.
Honestly, at this point, we kind of can't afford not to.
You're right.
So the writing on it finally shows, and it proves that it is the One Ring because in fire it reveals itself, and it says, and then he won't speak the black speech of Mordor. Which again, I love the fact that like in a world where language is so important, like even speaking it like invokes it, which just like gives it life, and you can't fucking do it. Pay attention, Harry Potter fans. But the translation is one ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. And I did not say that with nearly as much impact as
gravitas
can. Yeah, but I'll
We'll
say
just put
that
some
for
reverb on that one in post. It's gonna sound great, man.
Good note.
Reminder.
Now the stakes have not just like risen, they've shot up so incrementally high that even I like this following moment where Frodo's like take it, get it away from me. I cannot
I actually don't want this at all.
Yeah, he's like, I want to stay here and chill the fuck out. I want nothing to do with this. And
dude, I just got a house. I do not want this.
Yeah, and even Gandalf be like, don't tempt me, Frodo. He's letting him know. Like even Frodo is unaware of Gandalf's power scale. Like given to him would also spell the end of the fucking world. So it's goddamn. Like it's the stakes are like no one knows that it's here. Do they? Do they, Gandalf? Like it's almost every line in this fucking movie is quotable. It's so well written and so well executed.
It's one of those things where we just spent the first part of this movie. You're kind of just vibing out. You're kind of just enjoying the world. And so you're along with that ride where when they really do jump the stakes up and go, hey, this is what this ring kind of means, it makes you, the audience, as well as like Frodo and the whole crew, just like, oh, shit. Okay, and that's when you get locked into the movie. That's when you're like, oh, here we go. It's the call to action, so to speak.
Here we go. It's exactly as Gandalf feared. And he's telling him, he's like, you can't offer it to me. He's like, we have to get it at it. And so no one knows it's here, right? Like, right? And then Gandalf reveals to him that Gollum had been captured by Mordor, tortured infinitely. And the only two words he gave them, they were torturing him so hard that he could only give two words, and that was Baggins, Shire, and fuck me.
Oh, he said fuck me too? Damn.
I mean, the audience collectively goes fuck me. It's okay. Well, at least if they know where kind of Loki is, and they're like, no, they know the neighborhood it's at, and the guy who has it in his hand right now. Fuck.
Yeah, seeing when they cut to that ring wraith saying the same thing, just that Baggins, Shire. You're like, oh no, dude, you're cooked.
Also, the ring wraith looks fucking sick.
This is where that Frazetta style art like comes into play.
Yes.
Like it's so. I'm not necessarily a big fan of horror, but when you hire a fucking guy who gets it, you're gonna get it. You know, like
And yet, no, you see that guy. And again, I wrote down on my notes that like this movie has there is like an independent, almost like handmade spirit to this movie that I think connects with me. Where it's like the ring wraiths, as otherworldly as they look, at the end of the day, it is just like some black cloaks and
a horse, but also like it's the little zoom ins with like the nails in the feet, like shoehorns, like attached incorrectly.
So gross.
The horses are kind of perpetually bleeding.
Yeah, which is horrifying.
We didn't really mention it, but this is this is essentially this jumping off point. They had existed before that, but this is what really exploded them was Weta Workshop, and like their entire operation was essentially they were doing miniatures, and they were doing like the costuming was very hands-on, like you said. Like it wasn't, they're not an indie operation, but this time they kind of were an indie operation. This is their biggest thing ever, and they're out there making full-on scale miniatures of like Minas Tirith and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like this is very in camera.
I think where this movie just like overcomes all fantasy projects is the fact that like their costuming department is so on the money. Like every article of clothing is made with intention.
Nailed it. I mean, even like again, the ring itself, it's just perfectly designed. You mentioned before, Sauce, you said wedding band. It's like it doesn't have to be extravagant. It's helped by that simplicity.
The simplicity is what makes it feel so scary.
Exactly. And low key fucking mortifying. Like it's they're reckoning with the severity of what they're dealing with in terms of this being such a big deal, and that, you know, so he immediately gears up Frodo, where he's like, they kind of character-wise explain, like, Frodo's kind of always yearned for an adventure because his rich uncle who took him in had an adventure, and as much as he loves the Shire, like, he kind of wants to know what else is out. He's just curious. He just wants to know what else is out there, and gets his backpack on, and then suddenly they hear a little rumbling in the back, and now we're reintroduced for the third time to Samwise Gamgee. Ultimately, Frodo's fucking gardener, his day laborer. I put down in my notes. I go, the quest starts with a rich kid and his day laborer.
So this is the part where you get canceled.
It's Samwise as his day laborer. What is there to explain?
He's just he's the gardener. He's literally the fucking gardener who's just nosy, and then immediately, like, just you're nosy the one time.
And suddenly you're pulled into a grand world adventure that could potentially spell the end of the world. You know? These things happen.
They happen all the time.
They happen.
So now Sam is along for the fucking ride, and Gandalf tells him, he's like, don't lose him. Like, I know, like they're all trying to, like, not necessarily tell him, like, what it is that we're like planning here, but you're like, he just needs to get to a hotel like 5 towns over. But just shut the fuck up and just do it. And I mean, like, one of the best uses of magic hour we've ever seen is now that Frodo and Sam are on their quest, and Sam goes, stop. Like, here, right here. This is the farthest I've ever been away from home. If I take it one step further, this is the farthest I'm ever going to have been away from home. And they continue on. And Gandalf rides on to consult with Saruman the Wise, Saruman the White, you know.
I like that when Sam mentioning this is the farthest I've ever been from the Shire, and like a couple minutes later, Merry and Pippin are like out farther than them at a different farm. It's like, Sam, have you just been kind of hanging out next to your house? And you just never like I feel like a lot of other hobbits have gone farther away from the Shire than you at this point. This is the farthest I've ever been. It's the 7-Eleven down the street. I've just never been past.
Fans of the book, this is where we would have been introduced to Tom Bombadil, but I'm like, you can't just drop in the most, like, outranked, power-scaled fucking guy in the world.
Right.
Like, by the way, best fan casting I've ever seen is, like, we just put him in something or just insert him after the fact. Like, Matt Berry playing Tom Bombadil would be the sickest thing I've ever seen in my
Absolutely. Matt Berry would fucking nail it.
Like, the voice of like, Frodo, you daft idiot. What's that little bit of jewelry there? You're not wearing it on your finger? What are you, a pussy of some sort?
Fly the Concords in on that. Right.
Ironically, Brett McKenzie is in this movie.
They got them later.
Yeah.
He's been in multiple. Wasn't he in The Hobbit too?
Yes.
I think they brought him back. I mean, playing the same character, which is like, you know, elf number 3 in the background. I think he's like, you know.
Oh, that's right.
Elandron Durilil. What is his name? But yeah, so now we're back to introduce, like, so the same little stinkers from the Christmas party, the birthday party are introduced. They're just little stoners who run around stealing carrots and cabbage and mushrooms and shit. And they're like, well, whatever, we were hungry. What do you want us to do?
Stoked.
But they're like, what the fuck,
Yeah,
Frodo? What are you doing so far from home?
I definitely am. Yeah, I'm definitely one of those guys. That's actually
that's everybody. Like, the only person you can actually truly relate to. Like, they're very you have to play in the NBA before you're like, I'm actually
obviously.
Legolas.
Do I want to be Aragorn? Yes. Do I want to be Legolas? Obviously. Am I just
shit? I'd settle for Gimli.
Right? Yeah, for sure. Gimli's fucking sick. But at the end of the day, I'm just a guy who wants to, like, eat and drink and hang out with the boys. Like, that's it, man. I'll come along. Yeah, I'll go to Target with you.
But I'm actually Boromir. I'm actually Boromir. That's fine.
Yeah, you got corrupted.
Would that you had such honor, man. So, okay, the boys are like, it's just pure dick around. I don't know how many times anyone in this podcast circle or anybody listening has ever, like, done shrooms with their friends and then shit got real.
More times than I can count, let me tell you.
Yeah. So, I mean, as much of, like they're dicking around, Frodo's like, get off the road. You know? And, they all hide, and they're all like literally still like counting all. They're like, "Oh, cool! I stole this, I stole that." They're not like, and then the Nazgul, the one which they think is just rider. They think there's just one horseman looking for them, comes up, and again, much to the benefit of having a fucking horror director do this, the fact that, like, with every step that Nazgul makes, like, the insects, like, the worms start protruding out of the ground. And
when the spider is first on him, and then you see, like, the centipedes coming out, and it's just like, fuck that. This is horrifying.
Dude, just the lighting change when it's, like, beautiful magic hour lightness, and then he says, "Get off the road," and it gets like dark and Sleepy Hollow style. It looks so sick. I love that whole scene is great.
What I really like about this movie is the lighting, is that how expressive the lighting is. It's not they're not going for realistic lighting.
It's Peter Jackson being fucking Alfonso from Training Day, going like, German expressionism ain't got nothing on me.
But like even when the moon is shining through the trees, and you just see that big bright light of like the moon coming through the tree, and it just looks so cool.
The boys are so fucked, by the way. Like, which also, like, Merry and Pippin, actual homies of the movie who are like have just as much a hand in saving the world as everybody else. Like, their bag of spoils that they've been like robbing, and they love mushrooms, you know, and they have the bag full of it. They're all like getting ready to divvy it up. Like, once they realize like how fucking real this shit is, that there's like a killer, a demonic killer above them, Pippin whips the sack all the way across the thing to distract him.
Yeah.
And they make him run for it until they get to Buckleberry Ferry. Just like, man, like, just it's that, like, you just wandered into some shit shit got way too fucking serious. Like, there's
way too real, way too quickly. Yeah.
There's a much bigger dude on a much bigger horse.
Man.
Yeah, just coming to kill you and your friends. And they're like, I don't know him. He's literally my neighbor.
Just because you stole some cabbages, they sent this guy after you? What the hell?
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's wild.
they make it 20 miles down to the ferry, and then like they're all at the Prancing Pony, which, I mean, great. Again, the world building in this shit just constantly stacks upon itself.
I want a Prancing Pony sign, by the way.
I've always wanted to open a bar that is just the Prancing Pony, and like you have to check your phones in. Like, we have robes and cloaks and shit like that you can like show up in, and it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, what a good idea! What a fantastical good idea!
Wow.
Yeah.
Onto something.
So they're at the Prancing Pony, and like let's just I mean, this movie just starts clipping along. Like, for a movie, again, I watched the extended edition, which is like 3 hours 45. You guys watched the like exactly 3 hours version or whatever. Like,
yeah,
this shit just starts moving along. There's a ranger. Just by the way, the oroforming on Strider's introduction, straight up, I still sit in bars with a hoodie on.
He's the coolest a guy has ever looked.
Yeah, this guy's been looking at us for a fucking minute. They make it to the Prancing Pony, which is a tavern, and they're all like playing incognito. He gives the name like Underhill, like he's like, I'm not giving you my name. Just something's up though. And then an idiot Pippin starts going like, "Oh, Frodo Baggins, he's my cousin thrice removed. He's over there, actually, right there. He's holding one ring."
Oh, he's right over there. Yeah, that's my best friend, Frodo Baggins. He's right.
He's like, you won't
there.
believe it. There's these horses coming to kill us.
Underhill?
And shit.
Who's Underhill? Like, what are you talking about?
I love I love that whole scene.
Dude.
I love I love him being excited about the pints of beer. I love that they're all just like they're still just having a fun time while Frodo is kind of like
I love how it's shot too, because again that whole camera tricks making them feel shorter, but you're always from that child perspective, like looking up like, "Oh, hello, little man, like how are you doing today?" And
they
it's all,
talk
like,
real
the camera's,
slow
like,
at
2 feet off the
you
ground.
in case you don't understand English, you know.
Yeah, it's there is something so charming about Merry and Pippin just like having fun while Sam and Frodo.
They're like, there's no reason just because a guy tried to kill us on a horse that we can't just like get shit faced tonight.
Get respect, man. I respect it.
And then Frodo like you fucking idiot, like trips up, falls, drops the ring, and it slides onto his finger. Which I think, as kind of corny as this scene looks, I do kind of chalk it up to the fact that like the ring is also a character. You know, like I think it, like,
the ring does have a mind of its own.
Yeah, it willfully made sure it got on his finger.
Like Gandalf said, the ring is trying to find its owner. Like, it is trying to find the owner, and that is why it falls. It's not because it's an inanimate ring. It has a power and ability of its own.
Before we get to he puts the ring on. Not only does it turn him invisible, which is an amazing parlor trick. Everybody kind of freaks out. Frodo starts just seeing what the world looks like when you put the ring on and you're invisible and you can see everything around you, and it's starting to freak him out. And then the Eye of Sauron, which is kind of one of the most influential villain designs of all time, is that there's just a tower 3,000 miles away with an ever-present unblinking eye, like the eye of a snake, looking for you in particular, and it finds him and it sees
specifically
him.
You.
Specifically you. And just I mean, shit, we're kind of going out of order, but I think before Strider saves Frodo from putting the ring on, Gandalf shows up to his mentor, essentially, his, of the Wizard Order, there's a ranking, and he's like, this shit is beyond me, I need to go to the one guy who can actually help us, which is Saruman the Wise. Played fantastically, and, could not be anybody else other than Christopher fucking Lee.
Dude, Christopher Lee, the
go.
Man. There's a
just rips.
Seeing Christopher Lee, there's a band, a power metal band from the late '90s, early 2000s called Rhapsody of Fire, and they had a couple songs where they actually got Christopher Lee in the songs, and he just kind of narrates as they just shred on their guitars, and it's really awesome.
I'm about to get back into Blind Guardian over this shit, man.
Hell yeah. Well, there's also, I was thinking, when not to jump ahead too much, but when they start fighting each other, there's a song by a band called Weed Eater called Wizard Fight. That's also a really good song. Just throwing that out there.
It's almost like an alternative soundtrack, you could say, probably, to this.
Probably, yeah. I mean, it's a doom metal, it's a stoner doom metal band, which they were all just nerds who loved The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, so it makes total sense.
God bless. Truly God's chosen people. So the first twist being that not only is Saruman aware of everything that's going on, he's almost a little too aware of everything that's going on, and we're dropped with the big reveal is that the only wizard more powerful than Gandalf is on the bad guy's side already, and he uses you guessed it, the fucking Palantir
Yeah. Hey Gandalf, if your bud has the same name as the big bad guy, but one different letter, you should probably just start thinking about that. I remember even as a kid, reading the books, I was like, Saruman. That sounds a lot like Sauron.
It's imagine if your fucking worst enemy was named Michael, and they're like, I need to go consult with my friend Peichel real quick.
It is just very funny. Tolkien was reading this and they're just I think this makes sense. Yeah, Sauron sounds close enough. I think I want to make it as obvious as humanly possible. I'm gonna make Gandalf look like a big dumb idiot. And he talks enough to give up all the information too before he figures it out. He's like, yeah, Frodo's got the ring. This is what's happening. This is how it's happening.
And he's like, oh, interesting.
Wait just a second.
You have elected the path of pain. Oh man, wizard fight. By the way, I think this is when sitting in that 3 p.m. showing on opening day with me and maybe 13 other people, most of which were stoners. So whenever they're doing the blowing the weed smoke, I literally hear giggling, going, yes. In the background. This wizard fight, I think, was when granted, we're already an hour and a half into the movie.
Yeah.
I've never been more locked into being this might actually be the best thing I've ever seen committed to celluloid.
Dude,
straight
it's
up,
all I ever
hands
wanted
down.
As a kid. To see a wizard fight? Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't think it gets better.
I was going to say,
I'm
this
straight
scene
up
is like
fucked
the Robbie
up.
scene.
And so they have a wizard staff fight in it's Isengard, right? That's where they are. They're in Isengard.
Yes.
Yeah, they're in Isengard.
Because he doesn't really leave there, and when he levitates his legs and starts spinning them in a circle, I was like, that is maybe the most like verisimilitude is there. Magic is real for sure, I guess, but the fact that he's just absolutely wiping, just rinsing Gandalf.
He's just dragging his ass.
Yeah, he's throwing him around
the floor. Their fight was not here's a lightning bolt. Their fight's no, I'm gonna knock you on your ass. I'm gonna drag you through the dirt. I'm gonna spin you around, and then I'm gonna throw you up in the air, man.
Throw you onto the roof, where you will wait until you can join my side, the side of fucking evil, where everyone and all your friends die. By the way, because that's how fucked you are coming to me right now.
Shit.
I don't know. I don't know, Robbie. I feel like Robbie's the wizard appreciator.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm I the whole time I'm if you just had some fucking death metal fucking chords to this shit, I'd be I can't think of anything.
No, it's wizard. You're right. I think you're right about Gandalf being why everyone thinks wizards are the coolest thing, because.
Oh, yeah.
Easily, handily.
And you see these guys who are just so powerful, but they don't play that power. until they have.
No, man, they don't play. Like my cousin, they don't play, man.
Oh my god.
My cousin Gandalf. No, for real.
Blood in, blood out, Wizard Edition.
Seeing wizard shit and just seeing an actual real presentation of like, this is a wizard fight. This isn't just, and it's not just two guys standing there putting their hands out and lightning bolts coming out. It is like, this is a wizard fight.
They have staffs and not wands, but it's worse than having a sword, Like, I think that's
wizards are OP, man.
Yeah, and then he jacks his staff, which is like the worst thing you could do to a wizard. He takes it and he throws them up.
Yeah, it is pretty fucked
That's
up.
gotta
Dude.
feel bad.
No, it's like in Dragon's Dogma 2, when you choose the wizard, their spells are powerful, man. You can blow shit up easily, almost too overpowered.
I love video games.
I like how he did. It's like, yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2. Yeah, okay.
I think Dragon's Dogma 2 rocks. So
I've never actually played the Dragon Dogma games.
Oh, you should play 2.
Yeah, 2.
That's the one.
2. Here's the thing: it's almost like an exact remake of 1, but just done better. Even though it's still janky as hell, it rocks.
I'll play it when we watch Dragon's Dogma for the podcast.
Yeah, what movie are we watching?
The fuck? Robbie, when you said you want to bring Hunter on, I was like, I don't know this guy. I don't know, but no.
I'm having second thoughts right now, and
I'm having fourth thoughts. Where are you, man? Where are you on this fucking chessboard? I'm having fourth thoughts.
You know what? I know I say it every week, but I quit.
We just quit. We just quit and killed him. Like, all right, podcast complete.
Fellowship did it to us. It's over.
This is gonna be a fucking weird one. I'll tell you that. Again, my notes are literally like, one, Christopher Lee is so fucking good, and then my next note is Strider is such a cool fucking name, and that also might be back to video games. The fact that I love the Strider games, all 2 of them.
It's kind of bad. I don't like they changed his name to Aragorn. He should have stuck with Strider.
Because they led with a lot of the marketing and the toys being like, oh, it's Strider, and I'm like, by the end of the movie, you know that he's Aragorn. I'm like, oh, it's kind of supposed to be a reveal. Like, it's one of the things I just like wasn't putting together. And I was like, yeah, but he's Strider. Like that's the cool name. And Strider, I don't know if you ever met somebody who's just like a Lord of the Rings fan. Like they love all this shit right here too, where the whole like, are you frightened? Yes, not nearly frightened enough. It's all hitting every line of his. Praise to Viggo, man. Like Viggo Mortensen.
Dude, Viggo's the man. He
truly
is the
born, truly born for this role. Like he's.
And can you believe he really broke his foot?
Shut up,
guys.
Shut up.
I don't know if you heard about this. Sauce, did you hear that he broke his foot?
I wish I. No, I've never heard that, and don't remind me ever until fucking Christmas 2026. Did you ever fucking remember me?
We'll put that on ice. I'll put that on ice. I will.
I'm about to put you on ice. All right.
What I love about also just shouts out to Viggo. Even after this movie, he's always in good shit, man. History of Violence, Eastern Promises, like
Hidalgo.
Oh, dude, that man's the man.
I think before we even start recording, Sauce is like you want a professional, you got a professional, and that's what Viggo.
I think he's like the only person who like looked at it and went like, yeah, absolutely, I'm going to take this as seriously as humanly possible. His introduction already is this like untrustworthy. I don't know what you're supposed to imagine a ranger is, other than like essentially like a Middle Earth Ronin. Like that's just what it is. Like he's just a Ronin who's like a wanderer.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's just a guy who doesn't have a master, but he can. You pay him money, he'll help you out.
Exactly.
He's a brigand. He's on the edge of society. You kind of get that feeling, and then ultimately it turns out he's the most trustworthy guy you can possibly have.
So the Nazgul, because he put on the ring, it acts as a GPS. It literally tells them where they need to go. They show up, and like, by the way, their introduction and like how hard they wreck shit up the second they show up.
Dude.
Like, there's just even like a guy going like, "Oh hey, I think it's the Proudfoot guy." Somebody who's like, "Hey, who goes there?" Immediately gets his head lopped off.
That shit fucked me up. I was like, yo, that guy didn't deserve any of that.
It's the absolutely fucking not. The showing up like the gate that they had to get into Bree, or no, they're not in Bree, right? The Prancing Pony's not in Bree.
Yeah, they're in Bree. Yeah.
Oh, they are in Bree. Okay. Like the fact that the horses just immediately knock the fence down and squash the gatekeeper, like immediately kill him, show up immediately to the hotel room where like all the hobbit-sized beds are, as the innkeeper had mentioned before, and just start stabbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly, like, the movie, the first time I watched it, like, movie tricked me, where I'm like, okay, they're using
Did they really just take these guys out? Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I am hooked. It's like, again, if a movie can trick you, like, that Loki means the movie's good, bro. We see that, like, Strider immediately, and then, like, Frodo's the only one who can't sleep, because he's like, the fuck is going on out there? And he's like, yeah, they were once men, corrupted by the rings given to them by Sauron. And, like, Frodo, like, realizes in his pocket, he's like, oh, fuck.
Just coming to that conclusion of, like,
yeah,
what have I gotten myself into?
Aragorn, by the way, I write this down in my notes too. Like, Aragorn really is the best guy to lead you anywhere. So sorry. Now that Aragorn is leading in, there is an extended edition scene where I think works for a little bit of character building. I know you guys didn't watch that version. It's okay. Yeah. I always will recommend watch the longer version if you like this shit. You want to spend more time there. But while they're camping out, Aragorn is singing a song in Elvish, and he's singing a song about not himself, but Loki himself, where he's talking about an Elvish woman who married a mortal, and he's like, what happened to her? And Aragorn is just very paused, and he goes, she died.
Who is she? This woman you sing of.
'Tis the lay of Luthien, the elf maiden who gave her love to Beren, a mortal.
What happened to her?
She died. Get some sleep, Frodo.
It's like, oh, oof. Now that you know where this is going with him, you're like, fuck. Like, also, like, it's like, this isn't just some, like, homeless guy who's leading us around. Like, this might be the best equipped guy to take us where we're going, you know?
And again, it's all sold with Viggo as an actor. Every time he's about to do something cool, he gets this look on his face, and you immediately buy that he's about to do something really cool. Exactly. It's like, it's so impressive the how he can just, with the turn it on in his facial expressions, and just you immediately buy that he's a badass.
Not just a badass, he's that guy.
He is that bitch.
He's the fucking, like, everybody I think wakes up, every guy wakes up every day thinking that, like, today might be the day where, like, some shit goes down and I'm going to actually end up being the biggest badass in the world, and this is a Neil Stephenson reference or whatever, but it's like, then you see somebody like Aragorn, and you're like, oh no, he's him. He's actually him.
That's the coolest guy I've ever met.
and in the embarrassing part, because, like, you can't entertain that thought while having an ounce of humility, Aragorn is that guy while having all the humility in the world, and it just derails any fucking, like, grandeur you ever felt about yourself.
Yeah, you have to kind of just let it go.
You gotta. I'm just gonna go straight to Weathertop. I think, like, don't get me wrong, we get the fact that, like, everybody doesn't trust him. I already mentioned the part that he's seemingly weirdly cultured for a homeless guy. But we get to Weathertop, and we see that Frodo finally sleeps for once in the movie, and everybody's, like, starting a fire to, like, cook bacon and tomatoes, and idiots, like, everyone is just so willfully.
I love this scene. I love when they're all just hanging out on top of the rocks and just, like, vibing. Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're at the right place.
Yeah. No, I'm right. But I love when
it's the boys' campout scene.
Anyways, they're at Weathertop, and Frodo puts the fire up, but then they hear the screech of the Nazgul coming, and they all draw swords. They all, like, back to back, and you see that, like, they've been realizing that there isn't just one horseman coming from them. There's 9, and even then, there's only 5 who are all, like, circling in around them. Like, that's still one that they're outnumbered by. You need, like, 6 of them to take on even one. One of the best hero moments. And also, like, who shows up? He shows up to single-handedly fight off all these fuckers, like, just handily taking care of all of them. And the part that I think that everybody, like, honestly, like, I saw the movie 4 times in theaters. People got up, like, stood up and clapped. Like, not just that, like, they were excited, like, stood up and went, like, this is what we came here for. Grabs the torch and lances it through one of their faces.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. just lighting dudes on fire. It's so cool.
But not before Frodo puts the ring on again, hoping to, because it turns him invisible, which is what like Bilbo thought it did. It reveals him to the Nazgul, but he also sees what the Nazgul are, which is like these undying men with these like rotted faces, and it's no betrayal to the ring to just stab him, and it immediately just starts like turning him. Frodo is fucked. One person everybody is supposed to protect, all 5 of them, they've immediately shit the bed and let him get so fucked.
He got stabbed.
Got wrecked immediately.
Yeah, a mortal blade, which I love that when he picks it up, it evaporates. There's so many moments.
Yes.
And as we continue every Christmas to talk about these movies, the reason this shit works is that there's so many moments where like this is high fantasy in that like they just drop these little like moments on you where like he was stabbed by this blade and it evaporates in his hand because it was used. You know, it's like
and you like immediately know that that's just like bad.
Yeah, and
you know how bad
you
that
just
is.
accept it. You go. He tells it to you, and he plays it with such seriousness that you immediately go, "Oh shit! Oh, okay, yeah, that's a bad thing. That's not good. Oh,
that's not good at all.
Oh no!
tell say less. Say less. We're good. No, I was gonna say. You mentioned like the fire that fire scene is so sick, but like this movie does a lot of like traditional like fire and wire work type stuff that I really like.
No,
I miss that so much.
I wrote down in my notes there's a melding of so many different types of filmmaking techniques in this movie that where it's like I think that's what also grounds this movie so well is that some scenes are shot like an indie film and other scenes are shot like a horror film and other scenes are shot like a big action film, and it's like they really use all these little techniques and meld everything together in such a cohesive way. And yeah, them lighting everyone on fire, it's just good old fashioned stunt guy fire shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's like just light a guy on fire.
Yeah, they loaded them up in layers and like the fireproof gel on their face and stuff like that, where it's like just
went, here you go, you're getting torched, and it's like, all right. Which that goes such a long way to play into the believability of everything. You can see it happening.
Telling you about a world that exists that doesn't really actually exist, and you have to buy into it and kind of like know the stakes, and then are constantly throwing stuff like, yeah, he got stabbed, which is bad that like just little homie got stabbed, but no, he was stabbed by a mortal blade. Like, and now they're on a time crunch, and they're running, and they're making their escape essentially, and an elf gets the drop on Aragorn, and it is not just any elf. And this is a major movie change from the book, but like thank God, because like what a good way to introduce this character. We're introduced to Arwen. His actual girlfriend, you know what I mean? And she's like that's like I've snuck up on you, Ranger. She puts together the fact like he's fucked.
I wrote down hot girls can cure all.
Yeah,
straight up. They're literally. I love this stuff too, where he's like, can you find this weed? Like it might slow the poison down, and he's like munching on it while she's like trying to like survey how fucked up he is. And he's like munching on it and shoving it into the wound. Like old world medicine fucking sucks, dude.
I always love the introduction of Arwen because she's coming in kind of being cute about it.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, I caught you by surprise. And it cuts in the theatrical version. I don't remember what it is in the extended one, but in the theatrical version, it suddenly cuts to like hit them back at Frodo, like chewing up the weed and putting it in there and like figuring out how it screws. I just imagine that spot in between, like her trying to be cute. And he's like, hey, listen. Things are really serious right
Look,
now.
I get it.
That little guy over here,
shit's
who's
kind of
like
fucked up right now.
My fault, kind of. And like, I'm in deep shit, and she has to get real serious, real quick.
I'm trying to get
her boyfriend really fucked up.
Yeah, like I don't think you understand. Like we cannot let this little homie die because also like it being stabbed by a mortal blade.
I fucked up. The little guy got stabbed. And I fucked up. I really fucked it up. Can you help me out?
I'm the most prepared man who ever lived, but also if we don't save this homie quick enough, one, the world might
really
end, but
goofed it this
also
time.
he'll just become another ring wraith, and they're like, oh fuck. And then we're led into like the most hardest aura forming moment of the entire movie, and that's saying something. Is Arwen takes Frodo. And it's like, it's a 4-day ride. And she's like, not for me, it's not.
Hell yeah.
Books it. And like, there's so many flourishes. I don't know. Like this scene, like it's in the trailer, but I'm like, even seeing it for the first time, I was like, oh, they're just doing it justice. She's writing, and you imagine they're just maybe 20 feet behind her for 2 days straight of just constantly writing to like get the fuck away from them. And amidst her writing, she's cut upon the face. And I'm like, that's good visual storytelling because it shows that like she's not this omniscient godlike being coming to save him. Like she bleeds.
She is a person. Yeah.
She just happens to be an elf and just happens to be on a very slightly faster horse until they arrive at the river, and then she draws sword. I mean, I wrote it down. It's one of the moments of the movie is if you want him, come and claim him. Like,
If you want him, come and claim him. Nino Hidaglia Lasto Bethar, Rimonin Ruinen Lanin Liar. Nino Hidaglia Lasto Bethar, Rimonin Ruinen Lanin Liar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, that is the hardest aura form moment I've maybe ever seen in a movie, and I can't. I'm struggling,
absolutely.
you know. And then she starts using her elven magic to summon what is essentially like something that is inexplicable, even as like a movie watcher, where you're like, I guess that's a thing that exists, where she doesn't just summon. The elves are so in touch with nature that she doesn't just summon the lake itself; she summons the horse lord of the lake.
Dude, that shit kicks so much ass. And seeing like the little horse forms inside the water and just like, oh, it's so cool.
That's a hard sell. That is a hard sell for an average movie going audience who needs it to be like, I don't like make 'em up bullshit. You know, I'm like,
but that's what you realize how Lord of the Rings really invented kind of the fantasy genre in a sense of like that's some D&D shit, man. Like,
yeah. But also like if you had started with this, sure, that's a harder sell, but they've earned it over the course of this movie. Like they've given you enough small stuff, like just even like the thing with the fireworks turned into a dragon. Like there's enough small stuff happening that's like magical and interesting.
That allows you to buy into it more. Okay. Yeah,
precisely. Yeah, it's
they earned it.
And I'm saying like
payoff.
is it Deus Ex Machina for sure? But it is like, but if Aragorn didn't have a girlfriend who was looking for him, incidentally, at the point, like, I almost feel like it's low-key tighter than the original book. So either way, they write and make it to Rivendell, which I think is another great reveal, is the fact that there's this other society, this alternate sort of, you could say, like, Shire, where everything is artisanal and perfect, and
yes, it's a culture of appreciation.
Yes, and truly one with nature, you know, like I'm only going off of something somebody told me when I was still a freshman in high school or whatever, but he said that he was Tolkien based the elves off of like old Gaelic culture before England ruined everything, and he's like this is a kind of a what could have been if we left them alone. You know, like it almost is like a penance.
Right.
And I don't know how accurate that is, but I've always kind of preferred to think of it that way. Of like, why are the elves so OP? It's like this is how good they would have been if not for the corruption of man. You know?
Well, and even when the elves talk, they do kind of do it in this way of like I said, like Tolkien elves are interesting.
Their language is definitely based off of Gaelic as well, by the way. So
right.
Like
because there is like this arrogance
yeah.
to like a Tolkien elf, you know, of these like, and almost somewhat a fear of the outside world, kind of like the hobbits in the Shire, but
right
in a way that they've like
provincial,
they've dealt with it before. Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's interesting to see kind of this comparison between the hobbits and the elves, and that they are very similar in a lot of ways, but the elves have just, I think, dealt with more.
Everything they make, the elves are how like white nerds think the Japanese are, where like they're like these celestial beings who've actually created a perfect, extremely racist culture.
yo, why don't you sit down, little white boy?
Yeah, like Elvish steel is the same as like Hanzo steel, you know. There's these perfect people with perfect straight hair, as it should be. But no, like Loki, like I fuck with the elves so hard, and like seeing Rivendell and seeing that, like, you know, we're introduced to Elrond, you know what I mean, the leader of Rivendell, and I mean he's been there since the First Age, you know, like he's so prolific of a character, and the fact he's still alive, he's barely aged since, you know, the First Age as well. Frodo is able to be healed. He'll always carry a pain and a scar from the wound, but like damn, like first casualty of this fucking war, and it's like the one guy everybody is assigned to like protect and make sure no harm comes to him, and you just watch them just drop the ball every time.
Poor guy.
We're in Rivendell, and as far as Frodo and Sam are concerned, like everybody's made it. Merry, Pippin, Sam, Gandalf, and then others. let's just say, everyone is summoned to Rivendell because the ring cannot stay there. They thought the end of their journey would be like, let's get it to the elves, they'll know what to do, and
the
they
elves
know
are like, we don't want
what
this
the stakes
shit.
are.
They're like, no, get this shit out of here.
One of the best flashbacks ever done in a movie too is like Elrond saying like, I was there the day the courage of men fell. And this is after they've won the war, after they've already like proven their courage, and the fact that Isildur would not cast the ring away. He would not give up the ego and pride and power of like, I have the enemy's weapon, they don't have it, and like, as if it wasn't something that could be just as easily taken from you. You kind of see their resentment. You see the fact that they're like, we are these enlightened people, and if everybody kind of like got on our page, maybe they'd understand, but they never will, because they're not blessed with the one thing we have, which is eternal life. You know, the fact that the elves are, that's how you get to this truly enlightened society, is you remove desperation from it. And that's what they've been for the last 3,000 years. So we're watching all these people who still have to worry about fucking Middle Earth Detroit, aka Gondor.
Oh no!
So they have to call a council. Probably, I mean, like I think we're gonna end this episode after the end of Council of Elrond. But I think this is why, like, this is such an important scene, and this is also an insanely memed scene, and is like stayed with people, and it's just a bunch of people sitting in a circle talking about what are we gonna do about this shit. But we're introduced to. Sorry, before we get into it, I'm totally like I'm a little like losing track, but I'm getting there. Sam and Frodo are like, this is kind of the end of what they could expect of us, right? Like, we don't have to do any more than this. Like, we gave them what they wanted. Let's take it easy. There's the Council of Elrond, summoned of representatives from the dwarves, the elves, man, and a wizard, you know, all coming around, and let's just get into it. I don't know, I'm talking too much, so let's just get into it.
No, I really love this scene. I like that. Again, it feels like it is almost the climax of the first half of the movie. So it's where it's like, now we've laid down the stakes already, but now we're reinstating these stakes. We are here to like really let you know this is what's happening, and this is what will be happening for the rest of the movie, basically. And
the rest of the series, yeah,
rest of the series. Just setting everything up in such a beautiful way of, you know, pumping me up, because again, at this point in the movie, you're already 2 hours into the movie.
Yeah,
true.
And there's still a lot.
You're 2 hours into the movie, and you're getting like a new bevy of characters. You're not just getting like one or two people. You're getting Boromir, you're getting Legolas, you're getting Gimli all at the same time, plus all of the other elves that you're introduced to that are going to matter for the rest of the series. Like you said, it's the start of a second half of this movie, and you're getting a full new roster, essentially, a little reset.
Yeah, little reset. They're kind of introducing your new party, your new crew. It's like, hey, you're getting some plus one, plus two, you know, upgrades here. We're restatting our guys. You know, we got to roll some dice real quick, and
everybody's respecting.
One of our characters died. I got to re-roll into. I got to re-roll Boromir.
Exactly.
I think this will last.
But also, it's cool that you're getting Boromir out there, and I think Boromir is a really interesting character. So I'm glad we're getting here, and then obviously you're getting Legolas, fan favorite Legolas. My wife loves her some Legolas. Let me tell you.
I bet she is.
When she was a teenager,
I mentioned it earlier. I'm like, there's something for the boys. There's something for the I guess girls. Like, I kind of hesitated to be like, there aren't very many female characters. We were just introduced to Arwen, but I'm like, no. But like, a lot of the thing people like forget is that like you're either a Legolas girl or a Aragorn girl if you're heterosexual. Like, you know?
Well, the thing too is like all the hobbits in the movie, they're all adorable, cute boys. So
they're the cutest boys.
Them too. They're all the cutest.
And
boys.
you're shipping them all together. You know.
Yeah, you're making them kiss. You're making them hug. And Legolas is gonna join in. And he's gonna go, "Excuse me, Mr. Frodo," and you know where that goes.
Everybody knows where that goes.
Yeah, the sucking and the fucking.
Everybody's written it. Everyone's written a lot of the fanfic. We all know where it goes.
No, I really do like this scene though, and I really like the stakes that are really laid down. It's like it's a kind of reminder. It's like if you didn't think the stakes were big already, here's to really remind you this is what's happening. And
yes, precisely. It's much like everybody realizes the severity of it right now, and they all start talking about it. And this is where we're introduced to Boromir, who I think steals the entire back half of this movie. Like,
absolutely,
his effect is like felt throughout the rest of the series. But the fact that like everyone's like kind of concerned, and he's like, it is a gift. like you're introduced to this character who has been essentially like holding down what we'll just say is the border between like not another country, but a country like genuinely filled with demons and monsters. Like, who spent his whole life watching his friends and his brothers and his family being killed by the fact that like the reason everyone has been able to enjoy such peace, be it the elves, be it the hobbits, be it everybody else, is the fact that like Gondor is like the one last kingdom of men other than Minas Tirith that is like holding back the enemy. And to see that like they've laid their weapon before him, it's the thing where like it's such a great power that nobody understands even how to use it. They understand that like it won't.
Yeah, he's like the what if we used the nuke? What if we used the nuke on them, huh?
Yeah.
What about that?
Yeah, just give me the ring. Trust me, dude. I'll take care of it. Don't worry. You can trust
and then we're
me.
introduced to like we kind of have an idea, but we're really introduced between the racial elements between the dwarves and the elves. The fact that they have this deep-seated history where they do not like nor respect each other, and Gimli chimes in is like I'll be dead before I see the ring in the hands of an elf. It's like he's like they're not even your fucking like enemy, they're just like your rivals, and the fact that they're like, I will not like give it to us then, fuck it, we're also an oppressed people. Like everyone starts kind of like doing their little like pleading their case over why they deserve it, and they're missing the point entirely, which is also led by the second part where Gandalf pulls the dad card out, where before he would not dare speak the language. He just, did the, like, do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks. Like, he speaks the language of Mordor. He speaking it gives it power, gives it life, and then bringing it into Rivendell. And the fact that him just speaking it makes everybody shut the fuck up, sit down, and the room gets dark and cloudy and awful. And he's like, yeah, that's what the ring says. It is this... Like, Boromir sitting there going, like, we can just use it. We can just put it on, and we'll use it, and we'll just turn the tides. And it's like... This is something so evil that it is beyond. You know what I mean? Like
you using this would make you evil, and that we just kind of start the cycle over again.
It must be taken deep into Mordor and cast back into the fiery chasm from whence it came. One of you must do this.
One does not simply walk into Mordor. Its black gates are guarded by more than just orcs. There is evil there that does not sleep. And the great eye is ever watchful. It is a barren wasteland, riddled with fire and ash and dust. The very air you breathe is a poisonous fume. Not with 10,000 men could you do this. It is folly.
Exactly, and then they're all starting to get it, and then this is also where Frodo sees, like, and everybody in every aspect of making this film is truly a hero who put their entire heart and whole ass into making this shit. But the fact that they were like, they made giant golden rings where like you get this shot where you see like Frodo's looking into the ring, thinking that it's like, hey, like, I'm here as a courtesy, but looking into the ring, seeing the fact that like that's what it does is it is the origin point of all war. And you're seeing the fact that like in the reflection, all the men and elves and everybody's grabbing each other's chests and yelling at each other, and there's fire behind it, and it's like the ring is getting exactly what it wants. And just like that having being devastated and having it all immediately cut short by Frodo doing what is the like selfless thing more than anybody else, and this is going like, I'll take it. Like,
no, I will do this. This was my responsibility. Yeah. You put this on me. I have to do it now. Like, I can't, as much as I want to say fuck it and fuck off.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
He can identify that everyone is just not being an adult. No one can be trusted. He just gets the weight of the situation immediately.
And I think it's definitely like a commentary on the fact that like maybe it had to be a hobbit who took it, one who's already corrupted by it for 2,000 years. You have Gollum.
And no, 100%. I totally agree, because you see it in Gandalf's eyes. You can see him like when he says, I'll take the ring, and he says it that second time and gets everyone's attention. Gandalf looks both like relieved, but also disappointed. Like he's sad because I think he knew that Frodo had to take it, but he's also relieved that he's going to do it. But man, he acted his ass off in those eyes. Like
Sir Ian McKellen is, you pay a professional, you get a professional. Like that is even, and like to go to Elijah Wood's credit, who's like somebody who I actually kind of had conflicted feelings about on the casting initially. Like every time I come back, I'm like, he's kind of the unsung hero. Ironically,
he is the unsung hero. Yeah, absolutely. It's Lord of the Rings and it's the good son. All right.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Good Son, great movie, by the way.
Good Son rocks. Yeah.
To bring it back to like how it was explained to me, because like I was still trying to understand a lot of this stuff when it came out, and it was explained to me is the fact that like, well, I mean, they spent the first hour of the movie showing you that like the fact that hobbits already kind of have everything they want. They don't want for anything else. The dwarves have a want to one up the elves. The elves have a want to be the superior race. Weird. Superior race on the planet. The men who have already, like, because of Isildur's fall, have been like in a perpetual state of inheriting the sins of the father, and they have nothing but like vengeance, but also like well-intentioned vengeance to protect the ones they love. Like everybody has a motive, everybody has something they want, except for hobbits. Hobbits already have everything they want, which is why he's the perfect candidate. Not that he's impervious to the corruption of it, but he's impervious just a little bit longer than everybody else. And that's why it hits so hard that, like, you know,
because it is fucking with him.
The relief, but it's also the, like, he just had his out, and the one thing he did with his out was volunteer himself to, like, take it the whole way.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it is corrupting him, and it is changing him.
But he's also the first person to volunteer to go, like, I will take it to Mordor. I will take it.
I will
to
get
be
rid of
destroyed.
it. What we need to do is get rid of it.
Yeah.
And in seeing that, we get, I mean, I got this movie infinitely fucking quotable, infinitely fucking memed to death. Like, again, it's the Boromir, the one does not simply walk into Mordor. No,
yeah, right.
Not simply meme from the 2010s, you know? And then once you know, like, by the way, like, the amount of bro downs where I'm like, we have to go to Tijuana. And my friends have been like, you have my bow and my axe and my sword. Like everybody comes together and there's like then fine, we all stand and rally in support of the homie who like actually has the goal in mind.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, like it hits, and then the other hobbits, Sam and Merry and Pippin were all spying.
I love that. I love that they don't back down either. I like that they're like, okay, dude, we've already come this far. Let's just go. Let's
you need people of intelligence on a mission like this. It's the dumbest guy going like, none of y'all are smart enough to pull this shit off. Which, again, we should all be relating to Merry and Pippin more.
Absolutely.
The guy who just blew his axe up is like, you gotta have the genius.
What a good scene! Like, we're not even like doing it justice, and like, I think you just have to watch it to see like how
you have to watch it. That's
mechanisms are concerted. Yeah, when you're watching, like it's concerted, and that like Gimli's like, let's just destroy it. Then fine, fuck it. He slams his axe. It blows up in his face.
Just
and, like,
blows his axe.
It can only be unmade, you know, by taking it to literally.
I love how the elf just casually reacts after the guy blows up his axe. He's like, he wants to be like, you idiot.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
I should have known a goddamn.
More balls than brains.
Maybe should have mentioned. Didn't think I had to mention this, but if I could have destroyed it, I already would, you know?
Yeah.
No big deal, but hey, think about that.
It's also how most people perceive me coming in arguments, where I'm like, oh, dude, it's easy. You just. But we see that, like you know, like, oh, I guess you guys are inseparable, even though he was called to a secret meeting you weren't invited to. So, and this is where we get the actual, like, I don't care, like, both these movies, all these movies have the, like, drop the line, and it's like, oh, and you shall henceforth be the Fellowship of the Ring. And it's like, just the hero shot establishing, like, it's all 9 heroes.
Yeah. The music swells. It's like, oh, yeah, here we go.
And, I mean, just Pippin, you know, Boyd, like, he just saves so much of this movie. He's like, great, where are we going?
Again, though, that's a true homie, man. He's
Billy
just
Boyd,
along for the ride.
I'm in. Where are we headed?
Yeah, where are we going?
It's 4 a.m. Where are we headed? Where are we going?
What's the move?
What's the move? There you go.
And, I mean, in an unprecedented move for Turn Off the Century, I feel like this is going to be the point where we end it. And it's a guess what?
So.
You guessed it. You didn't guess it. I guessed it because I knew. We're doing a 2-parter.
Yeah.
Look, unless you want to sit here and listen to us talk about this for another 2 hours right now, that's just what's happening. So you have.
Oh, is it nobody? Nobody raised their hand? Wow.
Yeah, geez, okay. Can you believe it?
I guess we're gonna have to do another.
Oh no.
What was it called whenever they pulled you out of school to like do assembly
detention?
We have another.
Yeah,
I guess we have to do an assembly next week
No.
where we miss math at 3 p.m. on a Wednesday, and we're like, yes.
Yeah, and then they're gonna have the anti-drunk driving people come in, and I'm gonna snick.
Well, no, they're gonna sell us yo-yos. That's where we're at now.
Oh, I do remember getting sold.
Yes.
I bought into the yo-yos.
Yes, for some reason.
I could do a walk the dog. I could do a round the world.
Yeah, after 2 months of learning about Helen Keller, for some reason, they were like, now it's time for yo-yos. And we're like, yep.
The yo-yo company's invested in the school. It's all a big conspiracy. I won't get into it right now.
Follow the money. Follow the money. That's all we can say.
By the time we come back, it's going to be Pokemon cards and why they're also banned along with the yo-yos.
So, we'll wait until next episode. But anyway, keep an eye out for the next episode for part 2. Turn off the Sentry. But as far as right now, turn off the damn podcast.
Now we got to do prequels. Come on.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, dude.
We should do a prequel to this podcast. It's great. We just use a time machine and we're all in the 8th grade and we're like, these old guys are gay as hell, dude.
That's a good outro.
Yeah, that was
keeping all that.
Yeah, I think
we're not. I'm not getting it.